Okay, welcome to my little... Well, this is going to be a little tutorial on HammerFists. Basically, I've gained myself a little base. I killed everybody in it, so it's mine now. Nobody else can have it. And I'm going to show you how the HammerFist powers work. Because in order to use HammerFist easily, without a lot of frustration, you pretty much need to use all of its powers. So you need to know the properties of everything. The other reason I'm doing this is that I tried to make this vid before, and it worked really well up until I went to clean up the commentary. And I discovered I had called basically every power by the wrong name for the whole video without noticing. So I decided I'd better try it again, and I'd better tell you what the powers are. First of all, we have the normal basic attacks. You press square or, I think, X on Xbox. And you see they do AoEs, right? Notice that the third hit does not do an AoE. This is actually important. No AoE on that hit. The reason being is that if you try to hit a tank, and there's another tank next to it, let's see. See how I hit all three there? There was a tank here, and there was a tank here, and I went wham wham. Both tanks would be stunned by that hit, and both tanks would be not shooting me while that happens. But if I then went whoosh on one of the tanks, the other tank next to me is going to shoot me. So you've got to be careful of that. If you want to sort of slam them, you need to do this to make sure there's another hit, and then you need to get out of there. The other thing you need to learn is the recovery of all your attacks. These two have the fastest recovery. Straight away. They do their attack the fastest and they get out. This is important, because I'm going to teach you a little combo later regarding one of the other moves. So those are the basic attacks. This is the Y attack, or the triangle attack. You've already seen that one. And you tap it, you do the short one. You pretty much don't... If you ever have time to do this attack, you want to charge it, because it's such a slow attack that you only really have a few chances to do it, and you might as well just go for the full damage. There's absolutely no point in doing this, it's too slow. Although, the reason why you still want this power is that it makes this attack come out instead of the others. This fourth hit is quite huge and does a lot of damage, but unfortunately, so you can actually see the actual epicenter of these attacks here. But unfortunately, it's got that third hit which doesn't create an AoE, so... Look at the epicenter of these attacks. They look small, but the little one is only it's about this big. Fully charged, it goes out to this big. This is important because if you have two tanks next to each other, and you land next to them, you can just start going wham, wham, and you'll be able to get all of them, and they'll be stunned. But other than that, that's enough about the basic attacks. The other attack that many of you probably know about is elbow slam. Elbow slam. I'm just teaching myself this. Elbow slam, not hammer toss. It's not muscle mass. I called it muscle mass at one point. I'm going muscle mass. Switch to muscle. That doesn't make any sense. It was a horrible thing to try and edit. I'm telling you. I'm glad I'm making this. This is elbow slam. This has actually got some fantastic, absolutely fantastic properties that I really wish Blade had, or perhaps it's a good thing it doesn't have. Let's see if I can blow up something. No, can't blow it up. Whoa, those things hurt. Damn. Damn, blew up everything usable at this point. Well, that's silly. Well, anyway, you'll see that when it lands on nothing, like it has quite a slow recovery, about as slow as Blade. But it has a really huge jump up when it starts, and this jump up lets it go over enemy attacks. Like tank shells will whiff straight through you because they will shoot where you were, and you're like bloody well 2 stories up now. Whereas the Blade doesn't do that. Blade basically stands still in midair. See, slight bit up, but it's just high enough that tanks shoot you out of the air. So it doesn't have very good properties on its attack, it just has fantastic damage. This is important, because you can actually increase the damage of this by height. You can also increase the damage that you have set up from height. So whatever height that you set it up, this will increase the damage of it. By doing it, and then switching to muscle mass in the middle of it. And muscle mass will increase the damage of your attack by 3 times, which means that it will increase the damage of a short one by 3 times, so it won't do that much, but it'll be 3 times what it would normally be. And it'll increase the damage of a huge one by 3 times, so it'll one-shot pretty much anything. And when you get a decent height, which you really don't actually need that much, 2 or 3 stories, something like that, probably about, yeah, 2 or 3 stories will get you enough height. You can pretty much one-shot a tank, and you start doing more damage than muscle mass when you get about Well, I'll show you the exact height, but it's quite high. So that's elbow slam, and I just call that the switch. I just call that switching because it's easier. Elbow slam, switching. It has a couple of benefits. One of them is that you end up in muscle mass. Muscle mass is ridiculously strong, and you also end up with a dead tank while you're in muscle mass, so you can pick up that dead tank and then throw it at someone. So I like it for that reason. It synergizes really well. And also, typically, after you've played with some tanks in Hammer Toss, you're going to want to use your muscle mass to kill strike teams or helicopters that come along, and so it's a good synergy. Now, last attack is supposed to be the most fun attack, and it's Hammer Toss. Boom! This thing has different properties, locked on to not locked. So when you don't lock it on, you go flat. Now, you can't see how far it is here because basically I'm in a enclosed room, but I'll just tap it. See how far I go just from a tap. So this is a bona fide movement power. Half charge, I go across the whole room. And when you want to get away from enemy packs to set up another Hammer Toss to come in and damage them, you can just do a little half charge and you'll get far enough away in most cases. And there's a few other little tricks with Hammer Toss, but I'll have to show you them with some actual enemies. So let's go outside now, and we'll find some people to hurt with our new powers. And I will, hopefully, as a result of this, you will now know which move I'm talking about, and you won't get confused, because I have a feeling I'll probably mess them up again.